What does HH mean for your property taxes and TABOR rebates? Proposition HH does several things. It cuts property taxes, but it also finds a funding mechanism so schools and fire protection districts don't lose out. But that new funding mechanism would impact TABOR rebates. Confused? Let's make sense of all this. Prop HH cuts property taxes by lowering assessment rates, exempting some of your home's market value, and creating a local government cap that would require a public hearing for local governments to keep property taxes above inflation. So property taxes would be lower under HH. But what about TABOR rebates? Currently, the amount of revenue the state collects is limited by a cap. That cap grows by inflation plus population growth each year. All the taxes and fees that the state collects must stay below that cap. Money above the cap gets returned to taxpayers in the form of TABOR rebates. If HH passes, the new state spending limit would be inflation plus population growth plus 1%. With a higher cap, the state would be allowed to keep an extra $170 million in the first year and an extra $360 million in the second year. So what does this mean for your TABOR rebates? Well, the first year is different. If Prop HH passes, refunds will be distributed in an equal amount of $898 to all taxpayers in 2023, instead of through the 6-tier sales tax mechanism, which distributes refunds based on income. For future years, taxpayers in Colorado will see smaller TABOR rebates. In 2024, a taxpayer in the second bracket can expect to get $42 less in TABOR rebates, $434 instead of $476, and in 2025, they will get $90 less in TABOR rebates, going from $448 to $358. But if you're a homeowner, you're also getting property tax relief. So how does it all shake out? In the next 3 years, the average Colorado homeowner will save $1,264 under Prop HH. This does depend on your income, how much your home is worth, and the mill rates in your district. As the HH cap grows faster than the current law cap, the state will be allowed to retain more revenue and give it to schools. What about 10 years down the road when the caps are further apart? Well, that depends on how the economy does and how much the state collects in taxes and fees. That's represented by the bars in this graph. We know the HH cap grows faster, but TABOR rebates all depend on how much revenue actually comes in. Under a strong growth scenario, there will continue to be TABOR rebates, the part of the bar above the HH cap, but they will be smaller. On net, a tax filer in the second bracket with the average priced home in Colorado still gets more from the property tax relief than the maximum that they would lose in TABOR rebates. Under the recession scenario, homeowners benefit even more because they lock in several $1,000s in property tax relief and only trade off about $400 in rebate money. The long and short is that you may lose some rebates, but if you own your home, you'll save big. And if not, your foregone rebates will be used to help schools. It's a win-win. This video is brought to you by the Colorado Fiscal Institute.